Hello, okay, hey, I wanted to show you what needed to be modified on the Denix site in order for the shroud to attach properly. So, as you can see, first of all, the site, it has a pin in here. It could be it could be removed so you can make the modification. Here, this site is not adjustable like the normal STG4s or 44. So you'll need to remove this delicately, like just grind it away down to the main site so that that scope ring could fit on. But you don't need to do that to attach the shroud, but I'm just making sure you see that. There's a little pin here that can be punched out and put back in. It's just pressure pin, and you'll be able to move it so you don't have to navigate around the Denix at all when making that modification. But what you will need to do is to drill 2 holes on each side in order for the screws to set. So this is pretty snug right there and fits nicely. So this screw will need to be removed, but this will come in here and sit really nicely, right like that. And once you do, you'll mark the 4 spots where you'll then just drill in to this. This is solid steel, so you can drill into it. You're not needing to tap it. You just need to have a hole in there so that these screws that are here, you'll see it fits in perfectly. But then when you have it in and you have the holes drilled, you can then tighten up each of these 4 screws, which this shroud is threaded. And once you do that, it locks all of it into place. So I'll show you how that you would tighten these up when it was on there. And once you do that, you'll see those 4 screws will embed into the pre-piloted drilled hole cavity, which 4 points doesn't allow for it to move any direction, up, down, left, or right. So I'll kind of demonstrate for you what it feels like when it's actually on. I could actually hold on to the shroud with the whole 12 pounds of Denix, the whole receiver and everything, hold on to it, and it's not going to go anywhere because it's just on there. So no glue required, so that you could actually remove it if you wanted to, take it all apart. I kind of like that feature, but if you wanted to add some epoxy or something, you could, but there's no need. So also, just as a little side note, I have these screws, which are the Phillips head screws, but I'm not too happy with that. That's what it looks like with the screen used. It looks like they used Phillips. They just used what they had there, didn't have access to hardware like maybe we do today. But I'm gonna also include 4 hex head screws, which you could use instead. They're the same size, the same thread. I personally chose that because here on the Denix, there's the use of hex heads all over the place. So all of a sudden to have a Phillips where there's really nothing that has that anywhere else on that kind of looked a little out of place from a manufacturing perspective. But regardless, you've got the Phillips for the screen use if you want to use that or replace them. And since it can be taken, since you can take them out, put them in, you can choose to do whatever you want. So anyway, that's a little breakdown of how the shroud attaches. This is for either the A280 or the DLT-20A. They're both the same shroud attachment.